from Radio Leicester.
Hi, Brendan. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good, thanks. Thank you.
Good to hear. I wonder whether I could start with any of the sort of injury situation at the football club, whether there were any fresh concerns going into the game this weekend, or whether, other than the ones we know about coming back later in February and March, you had a sort of a clean bill of health.
Yeah, nothing new on. Exactly that. The guys that we expect are fit, and the ones that have been longer term are still out for a period of time.
On Wesley Fofana, how far away maybe are we seeing him in any involvement, I suppose, in under 23s or first team action? How far away is he?
Yeah, he's doing terrific. He will look to join with the squad the week beginning the 14th of February, which is great news for us. He's working very hard with our medical team and sports science team. So he's been looking very strong, but of course he's on this final period now with those guys before he rejoins the main squad for training. So and then we'll just assess it from there. We'll see where he's at in that first week, and like I said, hopefully somewhere in February then he'll be close to playing.
How big is that for you in terms of this season, I suppose? Because a player of his quality coming back is gonna add so much, I suppose, to your squad. And I suppose, how big a player is he going to be for you between now and the end of the season, as and when he can play?
Well, I think his importance. You've seen what we missed throughout the season. You know, those final few pre-season games, and especially in that Villarreal game, you've seen the quality of him and what he gives the team. And so to get that injury for such an important player for us, because of how we play, you know, we like to play with a high line. We like to be aggressive and defend forward, and he's one that was the reason we brought him in. So to miss someone of that quality and that personality in our team, even though he's so young, he plays with great maturity. That was a huge blow for us. But he's worked ever so hard. Nearly 6 months to the day since he's had his operation, and he's recovered. And for a young player, I've been really impressed by his mentality and his attitude to his recovery. You know, he's been super professional, worked very hard, and we just can't wait to have him back with the team again.
Looking ahead to the game this weekend, I suppose it's your first East Midlands derby day, really, and you've been involved in some big derby days, as we know, before in the Merseyside derby and up in Scotland as well. But how much are you and the squad looking forward to this one on Sunday?
Yeah, very much so. I've like you say, and some of the other clubs have been at, they've been massive derby games. So once this came up, I was really looking forward to it. You know, it's been a while since both clubs have played. I haven't been back at the City Ground since I was there with Swansea in the playoff semi-finals. So it's been a long time since I've been back. But I know it's a great stadium, so it should be a brilliant atmosphere, and it'll be a tough game for us because they've done very, very well. Steve's gone in there and done a brilliant job, along with Alan Tate, who was a player for me at Swansea City. So it's going to be a real tough examination for us, and you've seen that in the last result in the last round. So, but it's a game that we look forward to. It's a game for the supporters. We go there and we look to attack the game and hopefully continue on our journey in the FA Cup.
What is the key to being successful in games like this, Brendan, where tensions in the stand will be high and will be sort of flooding onto the pitch?
Yeah, you have to. You can't shy away from it. It's and you can't underplay it. It's a derby game, like you say. It's an FA Cup game, and we're the current holders. So we got to go and look to attack the game and go and play the football to the level that we know we can play. But at the same time, you have to keep that temperament, and you have to keep the control of the emotion to allow you to play your football. But what's important for us is to go and play to our level, play to our game, and play with that intensity that makes us a good team when we play to that level.
Final one from me, Brendan. But Papi Mendy, you've named him back in your 25-man Premier League squad. What have you made to his performances at the Africa Cup of Nations, and how, what kind of role are you hoping he will be able to play in your squad between now and the end of the season?
Yeah, Papi was very unfortunate not to have made the squad, purely because of the injuries that we had and the limited time we had to bring people in. We had to put other people in there that could cover that position. But I think it's a testament to his professionalism and his own mentality and attitude, that how he's kept going. And I've seen that throughout my time here. He's so professional, and his attitude and his approach to staying fit, staying focused with the squad here, that has allowed him to then go away, and you see the performances he's played with Senegal. So yes, that really shows you, the outstanding attitude that Papi's has. So yeah, congratulations to him. They've made the final, and obviously when he comes back, he comes into our squad, and like he's always been a valued player here. Even though his contributions have been limited because of the form of other players and how we work, but he still has always proven to be an important player in our squad.
Brendan, thank you very much, and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Owen. We'll go to Steve Clamp at ITV Central.
Hiya, Brendan. Good to see you.
Okay, Steve.
Obviously, for those in Leicester and those in Nottingham, it's a massive game. But even for the neutral, you've got the cup holders against the team that pulled off one of the shocks of the last round. It's sort of pretty enticing, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great fixture, I've got to say. Like you say, we want to fight to win this competition again. We fought so hard last season. It was such a memorable, iconic period for us to have won it, and we want that feeling again. But throughout this tournament, to win it, you're going to have to really dig deep, and you're going to have to perform well, and we know we have to do that against Nottingham Forest, because they're a good side. As I said, Steve going in there has galvanised the team. They play mostly out of the same structure, very well coached. You can see that, and they get some very talented players. So we know we have to play a really, really good game to get into the next round.
And obviously, these East Midlands derbies, because of the leagues, are very rare. The atmosphere is going to be intense, isn't it? I mean, a little bit different to probably anything your team have experienced.
Not really. No, I think the intensity we've had on numbers of occasions playing, but of course, this type of derby game, they're always that little bit special, especially some of our younger guys that have come up through the academy playing against Nottingham Forest. They're always special games. And we talked about it this morning, the importance of that. You can't go into these games and be caught from the off. You have to be ready, and I've been involved in enough derby games to understand the magnitude of, especially away from home, that mentality that you need to compete, to fight, to win your battle, and then, of course, then you look for your quality to come through. So that's always important, but it's important that, as you say, for many reasons, and of course for the supporters, because you're looking to make them proud as well.
Cheers, Brendan. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to James Savundra from TalkSport.
Oh, hi, Brendan. In terms of this short break you've had, do you feel like the squad have come back re-energised? Because it was a difficult couple of games before that.
Yeah, it's been a challenge for us a lot of the season, but I think the break came at the good time for us. Like you say, the last couple of games, we could and should have won them, arguably, without being at the top of our game. But I think the opportunity for players to reset and to get some players back, just even training with the squad this week, it looks a lot more healthier, and we're really looking forward to the second part of the season, where hopefully we can get some of more of the players back, but really look to try and be as consistent as we possibly can.
And what remains the ambition for this side for the second half of the season?
Always, I think, to finish as high as we possibly can. I think that it's a huge testament to the players that over these last couple of seasons that we've been challenging for those top four positions. This season, it's been a real challenge for us because of people that we've had missing, and we're not the truth is we're not a squad that carries the depth and the quality of a lot of the ones that are probably up in and around that area. So for us, we need to have our best players available to challenge. But what is really I've been enthused by this year is the introduction of some of our younger players, likes of Kieran Dewsbury Hall, seeing his progression. Some of our other younger players, Luke Thomas, a young player that's gaining experience and playing with no fear. And that's been exciting for us, and obviously looking to challenge in the cup competitions. And as I said, finish the league as high as we possibly can. So still a lot to play for, second part of the season, and that makes me really happy that we can go and really start at the weekend and look to push on.
And how do you reflect on the transfer window? You weren't expecting to be incredibly busy, but no additions in the end.
Yeah, it's a tough market, January anyway. It's not through any lack of ambition by the club. It's a club that's run financially really, really well. But this was a window in a market that was always going to be difficult for us. I think with also players that were coming back, that was we knew that they were coming back into the squad, and we're planning really looking towards the summer, because there's no doubt we need to make changes come the summer. We'll be working together nearly 3 years, and it'll be over 3 years come then. So we will need to refresh the squad, and that's something that we'll look to do in the summer. But for this window, it wasn't possible for us to do that. But I'm really happy with the players that we do have, and we'll look to continue to work with them and improve them. And
just finally for me, Brendan, what have you made of, I guess, the progression, really, the career progression that Steve Cooper has had in recent years? Of course, spending 2 years at Swansea and being really successful there before coming to Nottingham Forest and doing a brilliant job so far.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Steve. We worked together when he was at Liverpool, when I was there, and then seen him progress through where he went on and took the young England teams, did very, very well. And then we had contact, of course, when he was at Swansea, through our sort of history, and both having worked there. So I think he's adapted and coped tremendously well. I think he's an excellent coach. And now coming in to becoming a manager, there's obviously a different skill set with that as well. He's very ably assisted by Alan Tate, and Tate was a brilliant player for me and a real leader. And so the guys, both of them have gone in there and done a fantastic job. They've brought an attacking idea to the team. They've got some really, really gifted players. They're well coached. You can see that. So yeah, I've been really, really impressed by Steve since he's become a manager, and he'll go on and do great things as a manager, I'm sure.
Thanks, Brendan. All the best.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, James. We'll go to Jamie Weir from Sky Sports.
Thanks very much. Good afternoon to you, Brendan.
Hi, Jamie. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Just to pick up on your penultimate answer there to James about the transfer window, and yes, January is notoriously very difficult, but I think there's an element of frustration from some of the fans, in particular at centre-back. Obviously, Johnny and Wesley are out. Wesley will be back soon, but Filip Benkovic let go as well. Do you share that frustration, in particular at the back, that maybe you're a bit light?
So we, of course, have ambitions here, and it was the reason I came to Leicester City. I didn't come to just go through the motions. I came here to work with a squad of players that can hopefully challenge towards the top of the league, and that was the big reason I came. But for me, it's all about timing as well. We, like I said, the club is financially well run. It's a club you've seen over numbers of years. The recruitment of players, you won't always get every single one right, but in the main, as a club, we've always recruited well. But if the opportunity isn't there, the availability and the affordability of a player, we aren't a club that can just go and spend endless pots of money. And I think where the confusion comes a little bit, Jamie, is because of where we've been challenging. And these last few seasons, it's deemed that we are maybe one of those clubs. Now, our ambition is to be there, but it's always going to be a challenge for us, and we need to have our best players that are here available. And if they're not, then it's It's difficult for us, and it is a challenge, and that's been this season. So for us, our focus is very much on the summer window. We know we need to make changes to freshen up the squad, and that's something that the planning is well underway for that. But of course, the supporters, they will always want to do that now, but if we can't and it's not possible, then we work with the players that we have.
And you've been incredibly unlucky, of course, with the long-term injuries. With Johnny and Jamie in particular, not only there have you lost two great players, but you've also lost a wealth of experience and leadership. It puts a lot of pressure on Casper, doesn't it? Who are the other players there that step up and have that leadership role?
Yeah, I think the two players that you mentioned are huge influences for us. But on the other token, it's an opportunity for others to show those qualities, and that's something that you need to have if you're going to be a team that's up there fighting and competing. But yeah, we've seen the growth of a number of our players this season, and okay, we might not have hit the heights because of those challenges that we've had, but there's still growth and development and progress here within the squad, and that's something that pleases me. However, we want to be challenging where we have been. That's going to take time. It's going to take more coaching and the availability of other players. So that's something that when you have a young group, it is just time that allows them to develop. If you're not bringing in ready-made players.
Are Johnny and Jamie still around on match days? Are they in the dressing room giving rousing team talks? I know that when Wes was out last season, he still had a role to play in getting them ready before they went out to the pitch.
Yeah, no, the players are there to support, the pep talks and all of that. It doesn't always win you the games. You got to do the work beforehand. That's the reality. The players got to go into the field. But those players are always there in support for sure. When they can be there and available and they're not here working, they're always there to support the team and give out those little bits of advice in around the training ground as well. So yeah, both those players a wee bit of time away. Bard's probably about 4 weeks or so. Johnny a bit longer, up to 6 weeks maybe. But the contribution is still very important off the field.
Thanks, Brendan. Best luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Jamie. Thank you.
Okay, folks, if there are no more for the broadcast section, we'll say goodbye to our broadcast colleagues and move into the written section. Starting with...
Thank you. Cheers, guys.